Hi everyone, Neerja here, and today I'm talking to a real woman who's sharing real wisdom. We're talking about the art of taking confident action, and we're talking with Vasavi Kumar, who is, and I'm going to read for you because I want to get this right. Vasavi Kumar describes herself as your kick-in-the-pants guide en route to your desired destination. With an out-of-the-box, rebellious approach, she is rebellious, she inspires people to find freedom from their past, to take charge of their future. A certified life coach, Vasavi holds dual master's degrees in social work and special educations, and she's a co-author of the best-selling book, Succeeding in Spite of Everything. And she appears on TV as the Keepin' It Real guru on Kansas City Live. So, welcome, Vasavi.
Thanks, Neerja. It's actually Vasavi.
Vasavi. Okay, say it again for everybody. Vasavi.
Vasavi, yes.
Vasavi. I'm Indian. I should know better. Okay. So today, everybody, we're talking about the art of taking confident action. And the primary reason we're doing this is because I asked Vasavi. Vasavi. My mother would be proud. I asked her, what is she most passionate about right now? What is it that she yearns to help people discover? And I find her beautiful and eagerness to do good and help people infectious. So when she said she would talk with me today, I jumped at the chance. So tell us about the passion behind the art of taking confident action.
Thank you for the beautiful introduction, Neerja. You know, the passion that you so beautifully describe as eager, it's just that. I mean, I am so eager about helping people really do whatever they need to do in their life to make whatever they need to happen in their life. And, you know, if I wasn't doing it in my own life, I probably would not be so passionate, but it really comes from this deep yearning for people to fully live out their purpose and be able to be of service and contribution to everyone that they come across. You know, I believe that, you know, we were given this life and it is a gift. And when you get a gift, you can either cherish it and do something with that gift and really treasure it, or you can squander it. And so I really do believe our life is a gift, and we were put here on this earth so that we can make a difference in the lives of others. And I've known that from a very young age. It wasn't until maybe the past 5-6 years that I've actually taken that and put it into this structure called my business. That's really what I'm about. Life is short. You don't know what's going to happen in the next hour. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And so why not? Why not be passionate? Why not take that confident action? Because, you know, who knows what's going to happen?
I agree 100%. But, you know, I have to be honest, it took me a while to be able to say I agree with that 100%. Yeah. You know, my mother always says, tomorrow is never guaranteed. Tomorrow is never guaranteed.
Just like that, in that thick Indian accent. Yep, I know it.
Guaranteed. But she's right. And, you know, as I get older, and I have children of my own, and you hear about things in the news, it just reinforces that all the time. So we do have a choice. Either make this life a dance with full of art, as we're going to talk about, or, you know, give in to the life sucks, then you die. Which is not fun. And you don't live life to the fullest with that mindset.
No, not at all. I mean, with that mindset, you know, you really have one of two choices. You can either live your life to the fullest, or you can live and operate from a place of, I don't matter.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, right? And so I'm just going to coast along through life. Maybe I'll do something great, maybe not. Who cares? I'm going to die anyway. I mean, I hear that all the time. It's sad.
Right. And, you know, it sounds blunt and abrasive, right? Maybe. But, you know, everybody I have ever known, anybody, maybe possibly not you, but I hear that. I hear words of that nature come out of everyone's mouth at some point or another. And most of us, like me, it takes just one disappointment. Spiral us down into life sucks, then you die. And then I remember growing up that the line was, life sucks, then you die, then the maggots eat your body.
I never heard that one. But
it was a bumper sticker when I was a kid. Maybe they didn't have bumper stickers when you were a kid. I don't know. But so anyway, what I would talk to you before about was to tell everybody today in this chat, let's talk about the art behind taking confident action, what you mean by that. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about what prevents us, all of us, mm-hmm. from taking action for those things that we wish for. They're still not here yet, but we're still wishing for it. But we don't know how to do anything about it, but we still wish for it.
Yes.
We all have that. And then let's talk about, your wisdom, sharing your wisdom, and get these people motivated to take action.
So when we talk about the art of taking confident action, if we really just break that down for the art, right? Our life up until this point, no matter whether you think your life isn't good enough now or you absolutely love your life, our life is a masterpiece, right? Even if it's not exactly where you want it to be, it's still something that we have created. And like with any art, whether it's a book, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a painting, mm-hmm. we are the artists in our life. Everything that we have in our life up until this point, we have created. So when you can look at your life as a masterpiece and that you are the artist in your life and it is completely up to you how you want your life to look, it takes the pressure off of, or it gives you back that power is what I'm trying to say. Because if you have the mentality of life just happens,
right.
life just happens to me, right. There's no power, there's no art or beauty in that. But when you look at life as, I get to paint the kind of life that I want, I get to paint the kind of masterpiece that I want, mm-hmm. you take the power back in your life and you realize, holy moly, I am the creator of my universe, I am the creator of this body, of this world that I live in, of the friendships that I have, everything that is around me and in me, I have attracted that and created that and put that into my life. So I call it the art because it really is an art, and it really gives you a sense of ownership over, whatever it is that you do, you have 100%, you have a 100% role in whatever has manifested in your life up until this point. Right. And I love that because art is beautiful. Not everybody may agree with it, not everybody may like it, we all have different tastes, but as long as you feel good about it, that's what matters.
Now, let me ask you, you're a coach, right? You're a life coach, author, mm-hmm. speaker, keeping it real guru extraordinaire. Mm-hmm. When you deal with people, I'm curious, how easy is it for people, that come to you looking for help mm-hmm. to accept that ownership? Do you find that people are reluctant to really own that this is, the paintbrush is in their hand for their life?
It is very hard. I have different types of people that work with me. I have people that are ready, paintbrush in hand, palette in the other, all the paint. And so, but that is not the majority of people that come to me. The majority of people that come to me, they have the palette, they have the paintbrush, but they're like, they're shaking and they're scared. And that's fine and that's normal to absolutely be scared because, even Michelangelo was scared. Okay, even Leonardo da Vinci was scared. They had something that they wanted to create, but they were scared. And really, that's the thing that I kind of want to get across is you can still be scared and still create a masterpiece. You can still be scared and take action. But there are all these beliefs that that we have in our mind that stops us from creating that art in our life, creating that masterpiece, which is, what are other people going to think? Right. Is anybody going to buy it? Is it good enough? Right. Is it just going to be ordinary?
Right. Oh, man, that resonates.
Yes, absolutely. So I just want to get that on the table, put that on the table that you can absolutely be scared. It is absolutely normal. I'm scared, when I put stuff into the world, I'm like, I hope somebody likes it. I hope somebody, is propelled to take action and buy it. Like these are the thoughts in my head, but I can't let those limiting beliefs stop me from putting it out into the world because that's criminal, right? That's criminal for you to have a gift and for you to have a purpose and a skill or a craft and not put it out there because when you do that, first of all, you're still making it about you. Second of all, there are people out there that are hungry for whatever it is that you want to share. And so, it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to get it out. And it's very hard for people, especially women, to take ownership because think about it. I was raised in an Indian household just like you, Neerja, and I remember, you know, we'd have family members come out, or friends of family come over, and they'd be like, Vasavi, you're so talented, or Vasavi, you're so this, and my mother would say, oh, don't compliment her, she's going to get egotistical.
Me too.
You know, and it's like, so, and I know it's not just an Indian thing, I know a lot of my American friends too, but it's like, we're raised to think that, like, we shouldn't acknowledge ourselves, we shouldn't accept compliments, we're arrogant if we do. So we go through life completely disassociating ourself from ourself. The two selves being our higher self, you know, our higher consciousness from this body. But when we can align those two together and we can see that we are the divine, but we're also this human being, we start to have more of an ownership and really, you know, and I'm going like this because it's really appreciating the body that we've been given. And also know that we are bigger than us. You know, it doesn't just stop here at this physical level.
And it is a belief that has to really be in the person's soul. To really, that right there, because, you know, it's funny, when you went like this with your arms, I remember my father used to say, you got a sleeveless shirt on, cover that up, cover that up.
Yeah, I just got over this in my 20s, wearing sleeveless. I'm 31, so this is like new for me, like bearing my shoulders.
And that's so true. You know, obviously none of us are going to go around really knowing what another person's believing, what another person's thinking. But I hear that so often, that people have had other people in their lives, like, do the opposite of telling them that they're so great, and telling them that, you know, keep that ego in check, girl. Don't be so big now. You know, keep it down. And all we want to do is love ourselves and be happy with who we are and be proud of that. But, you know, the people that don't have that pride and love in themselves, it's uncomfortable to see in another person, perhaps, you know? So, and then what I love about something you said to me yesterday, freedom, action, confidence. And I think one thing that came to me today when I was in the shower is the sense of freedom that you get from recognizing that paintbrush is in my hand, that canvas is up to me to create, is addictive. That's the freedom I never want to let go of. Once you have it,
the whole world is your canvas.
Yes.
Every person that you meet, you know, you can build a great relationship. Like, everything that you touch can become your next piece of work.
That's
your next art piece. Yes.
So what do you? So tell us about how you work and what it is that you are orchestrating here on your canvas of life in your philosophy and approach to helping people get confident like this.
That's a really good question. In my canvas of life, as it relates to the people that I work with, I am basically on a mission to train people to be fearless. I want to just, like, you know, but I also want to say, you know, when I say fearless, I'm not negating the fact that you have fears. We all have fear, but it's fearless in spite of your fear, right? So it's like your fear and you taking action can coexist. You can be scared and still take action. The two can coexist. But it's all you taking that action and doing it anyway will override that fear. So, you know, you have your fear, maybe it's really loud. When you take that action, what you're essentially saying to your fear, your ego is, you know what? I get it. I get that you're scared, but this is more important right now. I'm going to take that action. So, I mean, I want to train people so badly to see that your fear and action can coexist. Like, you can do it anyway. That you don't have to, like, get over your fear. Like, the way you get over your fear is by doing the thing that you're scared to do. So, that's why every single thing that...
Hello?
Product of your mind. You know, and while we need our mind, and our mind is very important, you got to be able to learn to distinguish what are the thoughts that are serving me, what are the thoughts that are not serving me, right? And so if you have thoughts in your mind that are basically keeping you right where you are and not moving towards where you want to go, that's a red flag here. Oh, I can discard that. I don't need that.
That's important what you just said, because let's say people watching, let's say there's something in their life they haven't yet made happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, we talked yesterday about losing the last pounds, excess weight that we all think we have. But we still have it.
Yeah.
But we know we want to lose it. We still have it. It's not an extreme where it's a health issue, because then I think change might, if you're scared enough that you're going to have a coronary bypass unless you lose some weight, you might do something about it. But I'm talking about everyone who says, everyone, I've got that extra X amount of weight, and when I lose that weight, I'm going to buy that outfit, and I'm going to go to that club, and I'm going to stand on that stage, and I'm going to do da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's still not here yet. It's that nagging thing. Everything's great in your life, but this one thing I want, I still don't have. How do you, let's talk to them. Have you talk to them so they can recognize that they're in this spot, and maybe describe a little bit about, from your experience, that turning point. Because it does ultimately come down to, I got to want it so bad that I do something, but we get stuck. We don't know. That's a very turning point. Navigation is a very important part of life, but it's also difficult to navigate.
Well, I can speak from personal experience. I was telling you on the phone yesterday, how every single area of my life is good. It's like a well-oiled machine, except for my health and fitness. Because I do have a tendency to work a lot. I am very, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? And so I let my health and fitness it was kind of like that annoying hangnail. When you get an annoying hangnail and it hurts?
Yes.
It hurts, but you're still willing to tolerate it until you can get that manicure. So that's what my health and fitness was for me, is that everything was going great, right? But I still had that nagging hangnail. I still had that feeling like, I got to do something about this. And then, of course, I started nagging my husband, babe, do I look fat? Babe, how do I look in this? Right? And it's funny, Neerja, the turning point, it really was when it just hit me that I wasn't willing to tolerate the suffering anymore. Because I was suffering, right? I was I felt sorry for myself. I didn't fit into my jeans. Oh my God, why don't I look good? And it's up until that point, I was willing to tolerate less than my best. I was you know what? It's okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start working out next week. I'm going to start, green juicing next week. But I was what am I talking about here? Who am I? This is not who I am. I'm that person that goes out and makes things happen. What's happening here? And I realized what it was. I was okay with being unhappy in that situation. I was okay with that area of my life being okay. So I'm why am I settling here? I don't settle in any other area of my life. Why am I doing that? Is this my upper limit, as Gay Hendricks talks about in his book, The Big Leap? Is this my way of self-sabotaging, having an extraordinary life? Because this was the missing piece in my life, right? We all know this. We need our bodies.
Yes.
We need our bodies to function. If we don't take care of our bodies, everything else after that, it cannot be at our optimal level if our bodies are not taken care of.
That's very true.
And so the turning point for me was, you know what? I'm kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean? It's I'm sick and tired of this weight, but I was okay with holding on to this excess, this burden. But at some point, I got to the point where I was I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of my weight. And so I signed up for an 8-week weight loss boot camp. I'm in week 2.
Oh, good, very good.
I get up at 4:45 every morning. Today I went to a Tabata class, totally kicked my butt. I was
what is Tabata?
Oh my God, what is it not, is the question. It's we literally hit the ground running. So it's basically 20 seconds on one side, 20 seconds on another side. You do 3 sets of that, you go into the next exercise. But it's hardcore. We're talking burpees, we're talking mountain climbing, we're talking... God. I mean, I blew out my shoulders in a very good way, in a good way, it's burning. But it's it's what I have to do to get to the optimal level, area in my health and fitness. But that's what I really think. It's when we're tolerating certain areas of our life that are so-so, that are mediocre, we know that. We know that we're tolerating certain things. I say I help people help themselves, because I truly believe that, we have this mind, that sometimes psychs us out. But when you can quiet that mind just slightly through meditation, through just, sitting outside, being quiet, you can hear that voice inside of you. We all have that voice inside of us, our conscience, our higher consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it. You have that voice that tells you, come on, Vasavi, you deserve better. Or, come on, Neerja, you know you can do this. That's that voice that we ignore way too often. And so, for me, it is really important that I'm obedient to that voice, that I don't just ignore that voice and I'm like, oh, whatever, so for me, it really is a matter of, and when I work with my clients is, you know what you need to do, right? The issue is not the awareness, right? A lot of times it is. A lot of times we don't know why we do what we do. It's not always about the awareness. It's about what do you want to do with that awareness? Because action without awareness is just a thought. It's just a well-intended thought. Oh, I have pure intentions. I really want to lose weight. That's great. It is just a thought, though. What are you going to do with that thought?
Now, my goodness, it's a bottom line there. But I'm so curious, when you have clients or people that you connect with that are struggling with this, what do you give, like if they just can't get up and do it, what are some of the things that you've given them to, make them be able to, all right, I'm ready, how do you guide them through that?
Well, Neerja, I've learned the hard way that I cannot make anybody change. Okay, so that's one thing. I am pretty particular about who I work with. So that's why, I obviously create certain programs that people can kind of do on their own if need be. But for me, it's really a matter of, listen, push comes to shove, right? How bad do you want it?
Right.
I can't, and I tell people when they come to work with me, and it may be kind of like flabbergasting. I say, don't trust me, trust yourself. Because a lot of times we look to mentors, we look to gurus, we look to courses. You are going to be the end-all, be-all to my life. You are going to help me change my life. Yes, courses, retreats, seminars, they're all great. They're awesome. But they are only a supplement. You have the core, you have the majority of what you need already. So a lot of times I find people that come and they expect this guru or they expect this mentor to kind of be their fix. And it's like, no, it is up to you to change. So if I have somebody that comes to me and they say they want to lose weight, but, oh, I just didn't do it, at that point you got to keep it real with yourself and ask yourself, how bad do I want it?
Right.
What am I willing to do to get it?
Right.
Am I willing to suck it up? Because sometimes you got to suck it up. Do I want to wake up at 4:45 in the morning, Neerja?
Right.
Absolutely not. Right. I don't.
Right. Do I want to give up pizza? No.
Not at all. I'm a New Yorker. I love my pizza, my bagels. Right? But it's really a matter of, are you willing to do whatever you have to do now?
Yes.
Or are you willing to defer your gratification now because you're more committed to the long term?
Right.
And at the end of the day, I cannot make you change. And I make that very clear. It is up to you. So if you are going to invest in yourself, with me, with anybody, make sure you're ready. Because guess what? Don't just have the next course, the next book, just be another thing that ends up on your shelf.
I love it. Keeping it real. This is the keeping it real guru.
No, but honestly, that's chipping away at your confidence.
That's right. That's right.
You keep looking. It's almost like an addict, right? We're looking for our next fix.
Yes. Yeah, who's the next person that's going to say something good that, it's going to be like a momentary motivation, but ultimately not lead to change? Yeah, you're right.
And we look for our savior.
Yeah.
You can only save yourself. I am just a guide. I can, I have people that email me and says, I just need a little inspiration from you. I just need a little motivation. And I get that, but it's like, it's called inspiration for a reason because it is literally inside of you. I could say a few great things. I have a mouth on me. You know that. But ultimately, it's what do you do with that? Are you going to sit and feel good about it? Because guess what? Feeling good isn't going to create anything in your life.
Right.
You can feel good, but what is the action that you are going to couple with that so you to actually produce a result in your life? Because at the end of the day, Neerja, you can have all the pure intention thoughts and dreams and goals, but at the end of the day, what did that produce? What are you producing in your life?
Right. No, it's brilliant. And that it makes sense to me why you said I have to be very, I'm what did you say about, making sure that you can work with people? Like you don't take on anybody. You get,
I want people that, here's the thing, I love Steve Jobs' quote about, here's to the misfits, here's to the rebels, the ones that think that they're crazy enough to change the world, it push the human race forward. I want to impact everybody, but my time is limited. So when I do work with people, I am working with the person who is going to take action in their own life or business to move the human race forward. It's very important that the person that I'm working with is going to be doing good and is going to be being of service and being of contribution. I have other mindset programs. If you're at that place, if that's where you're at, that you need to get over some limiting beliefs, that's where you're at, and that's fine. But when I'm working with somebody and, we get to work together one-on-one, whatever time we spend together, you're going to take that, you're going to put it into action so as to affect the people around you. Because ultimately, like I said in the very beginning of this call, this interview, your life was put here so you can make a difference in the lives of others. And if you're still sitting and thinking about an idea and you're scared, and I get that you're scared, or you're still like, I don't know if it's good enough, I don't know, I want to write this blog post, but I don't know if it's going to be good, you're still making it about you. And when you can literally get you, this identity called you, out of the way, you can actually go and be of service,
Right. Right.
So that's how I feel about that.
And then when, I love your quote, because I was just thinking of something, and then I remembered, I wanted to make sure we get this quote. Your quote, I want you to say it, but I can't help it, I love it so much, is you may not be able to do everything,
but you can do anything.
That's a great quote. Say it for me again. I want this.
You may not be able to do everything, but you can do anything.
Right. And boy, oh boy, that's powerful when you believe that. That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
The fact of the matter is, you may not want to do everything, right? I mean, I'm not necessarily interested in doing everything, but whatever it is that I do want to do, I have the belief that I can do that. So this is not about, learning how to rock climb. If you don't really care about rock climbing, then you're not going to focus your energy on that. So this is not about doing everything. Mm-hmm. This is about doing anything that you want to do. If you say to me, I want to interview such and such person, I want to get my message out, you can do that.
Right.
You can do that. But so it's really about looking at getting crystal clear about what is it that you want to do.
Right. And create, like you said earlier. What do you want to create?
Yeah.
Right?
Because we are painters and we have our paintbrush. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to put out there? What is the message? What do you stand for? Right. What are you all about? And what do you want to leave behind? How do you want to touch people's lives? And I want to say this. This is not about running a business. This is not about speaking to millions of people, but in your life, in the people that are impacted by you, in your small circle, your medium size, whoever's in your life, how are you going to be of service? What are you going to do to give back? Because you've been given this life. So are you a taker? Are you just going to take what you've been given and just consume? Or are you going to be giving back, produce something, and give it back to the world? That, for me, is a life well spent.
That's so true.
And it doesn't have to be in the form of a New York Times best-selling book. It doesn't have to be in the form of, online, educational programs. If you were the kindest person to people, if you're generous, if you help people, if that's the way that you want to give back, do that.
Right.
But find your way. Find the thing that makes you feel alive and makes you feel good, and go do that.
Now that's right there is what I want to touch on next, because I find, and it's just me, but I find that many people, including teenagers, especially teenagers, which is a very critical time period in life to make decisions about their future, but I find that many people don't know what their gifts are, or don't know what they're good at, or don't know intuitively. They're not in touch with a simple statement like this. Well, I know that I have these gifts, so therefore what I really want is to be able to use these gifts to help others. And it's that these gifts part that I find many people are hung up on. They're like, I don't know what I'm good at. What are you passionate about? I don't know what I'm passionate about. What did you dream as a child? So I think that how do you help people find that? What can you advise people to like you do, like you said, everything's inside you already. And I think the magic happens when, I've seen it, when a person recognizes, I am good at that. And then it's like the thoughts go, I could do this, I could do that, but it's that moment of inception of, oh, this is who I am. This is what I'm good at. That's like a spark. And how do you help people, have you seen that people are unsure of what it is their gifts are?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to shift that language for a second, because it's, we often see articles and stuff that's like how to find your purpose.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's nothing hidden here. Nothing is lost. It's not about finding your purpose. It's not about finding out who you are. It's about remembering who you are. It's about remembering who you are, because somewhere along the line, between the upbringing of our parents, how we were educated in the school system, traumatic events that happened, parts of our self were lost along the way. And so we just started to become somebody who we thought, this is how I ought to be according to society's norms and conditions. And so it's not about finding out who you are, it's about remembering. And so when we're talking about gifts here, listen, your gift does not have to be this big, shiny, blingy thing. Your gift is probably the thing that you take for granted. It's the thing that you're like, oh, that comes so easily to me. That can't be my gift. You know, it's the thing that it's just second nature to us. It's the thing that people come to you for. So one of the exercises I always have my clients do is, pick 5 to 6 people in your life, friends, family members, who you know have your best interest at heart. I'm not talking about energy vampires, who suck your energy. I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about your champions. I'm talking about your cheerleaders who, I have my few set of girlfriends that when I feel crappy and I'm like, guys, I suck, they're like, Vas, you're amazing, right? I need to hear that, right? I need to hear that from time to time. So I'm talking about the people in your life that really know you and see you and really see you for who you are. And you go to them and you say to them, they will act as your mirror. And you say to them, what are my gifts? What do you think I'm really good at? Because, Neerja, it's sometimes really hard for us to see ourselves the way the world sees us.
It's true.
And
true.
We need our mirrors. We need our friends. We need certain family members to help reflect back our genius. And one of my favorite quotes that I have on my website, on my thanks page, it's a quote by Danielle Laporte, and she says, gratitude is a reflection of your genius. Okay? So when somebody gives you a compliment and somebody acknowledges you, don't take it lightly, because what they're really doing is reflecting your genius. If somebody says to me, wow, Vas, you're so generous, I don't take that lightly. I realize that what they are basically seeing in me is this quality of generosity that maybe I forget sometimes. I forget that that's who I am. And so when you get that acknowledgement, you get that, compliment, don't take that for granted, because those are the nuggets that we need to remember when we forget to see it in ourselves. It's a good way for us to remember, oh yeah, I am that generous person. I am that loving and kind person. I am that fearless, fierce action taker. I am this person. And so, if you find yourself struggling with finding out, like, I don't know what my gifts are, you know what? At that point, you need to pick up the phone, call a girlfriend, and say, listen, I'm doing this exercise, and I want to ask you a question. When I walk into a room, what kind of qualities do I show up with? What do you see in me?
Wow.
Tell me, you know what I mean? And and you just have to zip it. When somebody is telling you all the greatness that you are, don't be like, that's not true. Just sit and be uncomfortable with receiving it. Because it's so hard for women to receive that, right?
It is. It is. It is. And I think it's a great idea to challenge somebody. You are not allowed to utter anything other than, thank you.
Yup. Yeah.
Right? You're not allowed. Even but be uncomfortable, because that's good learning material right there.
Yeah.
Force yourself not to say anything other than thank you.
Yes, and just like that.
Yeah. And when you hear yourself saying, no, I'm not really, then, recognize that. That's you that said you're not.
Yes.
The outside world told you you are. That's great. That's great advice. So, let me just recap that, because that's brilliant. So, if you're unsure what your gifts are, and I know, that might sound silly to some, but so many people I talk to are like, I don't know what I'm good at. Ask the people who love you, who know you, who see you. And even if it's one person, so what? That's still better than, that's a great point. That's a wonderful, wonderful point. And, if any kids are listening, teenagers or younger, ask your teacher. Ask the teacher who thinks you're the bee's knees.
Yes.
Teachers, if you're listening out there, tell those kids how fabulous they are. Tell them specifically so that they have that, right?
Yep. I'll never forget my 4th grade teacher, Miss Flatte. She was the nicest teacher, and I remember her name, Miss Flatte, and she said to me in 4th grade, Vasavi, you're such a card. And I didn't know what that meant, you're such a card. I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, you're just such a character. She goes, you got so much charm, you have so much charisma. And at that age, I was like, I am, huh? Like, it just felt good. Like, I know I can entertain a room. I know I can get up on stage and make a crowd laugh. I can make a crowd cry by just showing up and being myself, and I don't need to work too hard, and that's my gift. And she told me that. She told me that when I was in 4th grade, and I didn't ask her. She just told me. So I love what you said, Neerja. It's so important for teachers who are basically raising our kids, 8 hours out of the day.
Yes.
So that's very important.
I have to give it up to Mr. Hess right now, because he did something for me. We remember these things, 4th grade, 6th grade, remember. I was in 6th grade and I didn't have any friends because I lived in a big town and there were several schools. So it was very difficult to have one group of kids stay together throughout their school year. So everybody's always new. So in 6th grade, I had I didn't grow up with any of the kids in my school. And the only group of girls that wanted to embrace me were the bad girls. They were smoking in the bathroom and all that stuff. Really? And I thought, well, those are I guess I'll go hang with them. And I started to be like a little brat in class and purposely failing, straight A student. I'm like, nah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Hess wrote in my yearbook, don't ever let anybody change you, Neerja. I was like, and that's what I mean. Those are heroes that tell you these messages when you're... So, teachers, very powerful. Your words are so powerful to shape the lives of kids. So, yeah, that's great. And so what I want to ask you now, to kind of wrap up this gorgeous chat that we're having, which I hope we do again and again.
Of course.
Tell us, you mentioned about, you do coaching, but you also design courses. So tell us some of some of the brainstorms, the passion, what are you really interested in when you are creating these courses? And tell us a little bit about some of them.
My creative process is quite interesting. I'm always thinking about, what do I need to do to get people in action? That's like the number one, that's the question that I have, honestly, at any given moment. I'm thinking about that.
Well, you cracked that nut. You're doing a service like you wouldn't believe.
So, thank you. So it was May of this year, so it was just about 2-3 months ago. And I said, you know what? Why is it that it's hard for people to take action, right? So I was thinking about that. And I thought about it in my own life, Neerja. I am a natural, I'm groomed in a way, and I have it where I just take action. But it was more than that. I started to look at at what point was I not fully serving at my capacity, or even beyond that. And I realized when it wasn't, when certain areas of my life were not handled. Because see, when you're trying to be of service, but you're trying to handle your life and manage your life, and you have this thing called your life that you have to handle, you don't have time for anybody else. And you're you're stretched.
Right.
And I realized what it was when I looked at the art of taking confident action for me. People say to me all the time, how do you have so much energy? Okay? I wake up and I'm like this. I swear, I don't need coffee to get me up in the morning. I drink coffee, but I don't need coffee I'm already like a rodent on,
Oh my gosh.
But I thought about it and I said, it wasn't until I really took a hard look at every single area of my life and I asked myself, am I happy with, my health and fitness? Am I happy with my relationships? All, myself, my partner, my social life, my colleagues. Am I happy with my finances and how I'm contributing? Am I happy with my overall lifestyle? When I took that hard look and I looked at it, and I said, okay, well, you know what? This is a 5. This is a 6 out of 10. This is a 7. Then I was like, well, what do I need to do to make it at least an 8? We're talking about moving the needle here, right? Not saying making it a 10, but making it at least closer to a 10. 8,
right.
9, and then 10. I asked myself, what do I need to do? And then I did what I had to do. I did. As it comes to health and fitness, I feel better than I've never felt better in my life. Getting up, and working out and moving my body, sweating at least 2 hours a day, doing that, eating the right food, taking the time to do that, doing it with my finances, budgeting, having a budget. Structure gives you freedom, right? I know people don't believe that, but when you have a budget, you actually get more freedom.
That's right, because you're in control of that budget.
Yes.
That's right.
And you don't just accidentally buy a $300 pair of shoes.
Right.
Not
anymore.
Or, looking at your relationships. Right. Do the people in my life fill me up? Or do they add? Do they subtract? Do they multiply? Or do they divide me? So when I actually looked at that and I got it handled, when I say handled, having a vision for that area of my life, doing what I had to do to get that handled. When I was able to do that, and I can proudly say I've done that, my health and fitness is a work in progress, but I'm doing it. I'm taking the action. That's all that matters.
Right.
There's no race, there's no finish line.
Right.
I realized my capacity to be with people, my capacity to give. I've done one other interview right before this, and I have the same amount of energy that I gave in that to here, because my life is handled. My stuff is in order. So I can come and just show up and just talk to Neerja about all this stuff.
Right.
So I realized, okay, this is what I need to teach. I need to teach people how to take confident action in their life first, right?
Right.
Look at every single area of your life. Get your life handled first. And you can still be of service, but get your life handled first. And you are so happy and you are so confident in your life. You take that confidence and you translate that into what you're putting out there.
Right.
Because when you are taking action and you're gaining confidence in your own life, that is what you are going to emit out into the universe, into the ether.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this program is. It is a 5-week. I call it a self-study, but it's really not, because I'm there along the entire 5 weeks. But it's a self-study course, The Art of Taking Confident Action. I've recorded 40 to 60-minute MP3s, worksheets. You get a bonus Q&A call with me right in the middle of the program. So 5 weeks. Because here's the thing. I am not satisfied with people signing up for my program and then not completing it. If you're going to sign up for my program, you're going to do my program. For me, it's not a matter of, oh my God, I made so much money from this program, if the completion rate is low. I want you to go through the program. That's how much I stand by my content. So I offer a bonus Q&A call. For the first 15 people that sign up, you get one-on-one sessions with me. And the best part, and you also get a Facebook private member group that I'm heavily engaged in, but the best part, and I'm so happy about this, I have 12 of the greatest teachers in the industry of health and fitness, lifestyle, relationships, finances, power leakages, and detox in this program. So I have Kate Northrup.
Oh, wow.
Also, her book is coming out in September.
Wow.
About money. I have Nisha Moodley. I have Liz D'Alto.
Mm-hmm.
Navjeet Kandola. I have so many.
Navjeet.
I love Navjeet. I have so many amazing teachers in this program. Mm-hmm. So not only are you getting my content, and you're getting me, because I will be there throughout the entire program, you also get these great teachers. So it is a self-study. So week 1, you'll work on one area of your life. Week 2, you work on another. I don't want to just kind of word vomit content all over you and then you feel overwhelmed.
Right.
So it's paced. So it's 5 weeks. And then, I always say this. I am not the kind of person to create something, put it out there, and then, you don't get access to me. You have to pay me $1,000 more to get access to me. No. Email me. I openly gave 1,000 people my email address, and I said, email me on the live stream that I did the other day, and I said, email me. I will write back to you. I don't have anybody checking my emails. I do my own email.
And you tweet back, don't you?
I always tweet back. I retweet. I favorite. I reply. It's so important for me that I stay connected so I know who you are. Everything that I create and put out into the world is a result of me really getting and knowing and understanding the people that I'm serving.
Very obvious that you care. It's so obvious that you care. It's so obvious that you don't just create something and care about the sales. Your passion for helping people is very visible, which is beautiful.
Thanks, Neerja.
So I want everybody we're going to put the links to everything that your website, info about your course, your tweet thingy. What do you call that thingy? Your tweet sign, whatever that's called. Handle. What do you call that? What is it called? Twitter handle. CB handle, Twitter handle. And I love on your website you have a ask anything. I love that. And I use that feature to see if she really will answer, and she did. So very accessible. You make yourself very accessible.
Thank you.
Which is awesome. And I am happy to know you. And everybody listening, please check out her website and share her with your friends.
Thank you.
If you would like to do this again, I am here for you.
I would love to. I would love to.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Say your name one more time for everybody, please. I don't want to mess it.
Vasavi.
Vasavi. Vasavi Kumar is here to help you, so take advantage of that. And you have a great day. Okay?
Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.